Hello and welcome to the Soldiers of Warlords. This is a new mini-series here on Firefly Studios YouTube, where we take you through 3 awesome units coming to our latest city building game as we head to the Far East. Troops in Stronghold Warlords will be drawn from 4 unique cultures, including the Horse Lords of Mongolia, Japanese masters of stealth and combat, fearless Chinese battalions, and the tribal fighters of 3rd century BC Vietnam. In our previous video, we explored the new unit classes that Warlords will introduce, specifically auxiliary and imperial units from China and Vietnam, both of which will be recruited from the barracks. These will be your bread and butter units in the early stages of the single player campaign, as well as in skirmish matches against the AI, your friends, and your enemies. Today we'll be revealing even more troops and introducing you to a 3rd class of units in the game, special units with their own unique abilities recruited at a brand new building, the Military Academy. Like the classic mercenary post building from Stronghold Crusader and Stronghold 2, the Military Academy is where you recruit Warlords' more specialised units. What makes these units special and crucially different from the auxiliary and imperial troops found in the barracks is that each comes with its own unique ability on the battlefield. Inspired by legendary combatants of Chinese, Japanese, and Mongolian heritage, these are elite warriors able to turn the tide of a skirmish on a battlefield and are priced accordingly, with a mix of passive and active abilities that deal damage, buff friendly units, or set enemy ones on fire. Abilities have never featured this heavily in a Stronghold game since the criminally underrated Stronghold Legends. These abilities will function believably for the time and setting. As a side note, we know lots of you have been asking about how units from the different cultures will be made available in-game. Warlords will give players access to all units in the game when playing in skirmish mode or online multiplayer, just like in Stronghold Crusader. So while the single player missions will limit troop type depending on where you are narratively in the campaign, all units will be made available to battle against the AI and your friends in skirmish mode. The first of these special units is the Chinese Fire Lancer. Inspired by weapon illustrations from the Fire Dragon Manual and artwork depicting the siege of Dian in the Jin-Song Wars of 1132, Fire Lancer is Warlord's rudimentary feudal flamethrower. Bearing the torch of gunpowder in Stronghold Warlords as our main fire-based unit, the Fire Lancer is a lightly armoured, medium-range attacking unit with a long reload time. Best used defensively to rain down fire from atop your castle walls, the Fire Lancer is capable of delivering large amounts of death from above. So if you thought the torch-wielding slaves from Stronghold Crusader were dangerous, you've seen nothing yet. With the Fire Lancer able to set enemy units on fire, spread fire throughout a castle economy, and take out those pesky Laddermen in a pinch. Their slow movement speed and poor performance in close combat mean that the Fire Lancers require protection, regardless of whether they're being used defensively or aggressively. So make sure Lancers on castle walls have hoardings to protect them, using cheaper and less vital units like archers to draw fire as much as possible. For the same reason, when besieging other players, try to avoid using Fire Lancers in your first line of attack. Mantlets and cheaper units like tribesmen are your friends here, drawing fire away from your Lancers so they can get a nice fire going as fast as possible. Another special unit recruitable at the Military Academy, and my personal favourite, is the Mongolian Horse Archer. A new spin on the classic Stronghold unit, Mongolian Horse Lords will feature heavily towards the end of our main single player campaign, when you assume the role of Genghis Khan himself. Among the fastest moving units in the game, Horse Archers are the first mounted cavalry we've revealed so far. Cavalry will play a larger role in Warlords when compared to previous Stronghold games, with more mounted units and ways to use them out on the battlefield. Lightly armoured and capable of firing at targets further away than you might think, the Horse Archer is built for quick hit and run strikes on attacking armies and castle defences. Able to arch their backs and fire at speed in any direction, the Horse Archer works best when auto-targeting troops while the player directs them in and out of range. Use them to harass unprotected troops on walls, take out peasants farming outside the castle, or even siege equipment left exposed at the rear of an attacking force. For these reasons, your Mongolian Horse Lords are most effective on large and extra-large maps, where they've been used to outflank and outmaneuver enemy siege forces. Use them to expose weaknesses in enemy squads or castles, and your Horse Archers will prove themselves to be the secret Mongolian weapon you never knew you needed. A highly armoured unit resistant to melee attacks and particularly archer fire, the General is your ranking officer, perfect for boosting troop morale in large-scale siege attacks. Almost entirely covered in heavy armour, the General isn't your fastest troop on the battlefield, but he just might be your most valuable. Not unlike the Lord sitting atop your keep in terms of stats, the General has plenty of health and attacking power. The difference here is that this guy can die without you losing the game. And that's really what we've been trying to address with this new unit. Watching fans play Stronghold online at events like PAX and Gamescom, we noticed the tendency of some players to use their lord as part of an attack. This, of course, is a terrible idea, but it made us realise that players want to take advantage of his high attacking power, and perhaps just enjoyed having their leader out in the middle of the action. The general then allows players to have a ranking officer present in their attacking siege force without fear of losing the game entirely upon his death. What this means is that you not only have a powerful single unit at the heart of your army, but you're also providing nearby troops with a buff thanks to his generous morale boosting area of effect ability. This unique ability can also come in handy for castle defense. Place a general in a well protected castle tower and your archers will deal even more damage with each volley, wiping out their front line before it gets anywhere near your castle traps and killing zones. So there you have it, 3 exciting new units coming to Stronghold Warlords with their own unique abilities in 2020. Now, a lot of you have been asking exactly when you're going to be able to get your hands on the game, and honestly, best way to find out is just by wishlisting the game on Steam, which you can do right now. As soon as we have a firm date, we'll likely announce that on Steam with a release date trailer, as well as notification of any pre-purchase offers or launch discounts. We hope that at least a few of today's units match up to your personal wish list for Stronghold games in the future, but if not, stay tuned. We've still got 10 pieces of siege equipment and 8 units to reveal, so there's plenty of tools for your castle siege sandbox. If you have any questions about the new units, make sure you jump onto the official Stronghold Discord, link in the description below. You can chat to myself, Natasha and Aaron about each week's video, and if you like the video, make sure you give us a like and subscribe here on Firefly Studios YouTube for more Stronghold Warlords and Romans Age of Caesar content every month.